The Titans broke the Colts streak of 5 straight division titles last year. This year, now we look like we're back to normal. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan.
Hey,
glad to be with you on the NFL preview show presented by Tyson Anytizers. It's the Sunday night matchup, and it's in Tennessee. And Peyton Manning has started this season 4 consecutive 300-yard games. He's never started a season with that. Is he looking better than he's ever looked before?
Yeah, I think he's on pace for his greatest season, and it's really impressive when you think no Marvin Harrison out there, and Anthony Gonzalez is gone, and he's attacking people, and he's not getting sacked, and he's on pace to be sacked 8 times this year. Now, he might get sacked more, but 13 sacks, I think, is the best year he's ever had. I love the way he's attacking. He's got a nice running game to go with it.
And with the way that Tennessee has played defense this year, how in the world does Jeff Fisher, who has done it before, conjure up a way to stop Peyton Manning?
You mentioned that Peyton's thrown the ball for over 300 yards every week. Tennessee has given up over 300 yards in the air every week. So that's a bad formula for Tennessee. Their secondary is not playing very well right now. They've got injuries, and say what you want, without Albert Haynesworth, the defensive structure has changed quite a bit.
And it's not just Albert Haynesworth, because there's injuries in the secondary. Right. They also don't have defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. He's the head coach with the Lions, and that maybe has been playing a part in this as well. Offensively for Tennessee, because last week was the first week that it really looked out of sync, and it was at Jacksonville. Jeff Fisher came out this week and said it's not Kerry Collins' fault. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. And after he said it, it made me go back and look at some tape. And, you know, Jeff pointed me towards this. There's a lot of drop passes. In the week when he went 0 for 13 and took a lot of criticism, that being Kerry Collins, there were 5 critical drops in that whole sequence of 13 pass plays, and it's gone on since then. They need Kenny Britt, as an example, terrific young athlete. He needs to get him better as a route runner, more consistent with his hands. But, you know, they're not blaming Kerry, and I like that. And Jeff Fisher has been down in this situation before with a bad start, and he's fought his way out, and he's not hitting a panic button, and right now he's not putting Vince in.
Yeah, you bring that up, the 1-4 start in 2002 when they made the AFC Championship game that year. You said they're not bringing Vince in. If they lose this week, which you've told me you think that Indianapolis goes into Tennessee and wins this week.
Sure.
Do we see Vince Young?
No, not yet. Now, you go back to 2006, they were 0-5 to start, and they dug themselves out of that hole. They didn't make the playoffs, but they got to 8-8. And in that 8-8 and all those wins, they beat the Giants, they beat the Eagles, they beat these Colts. So Jeff knows how to dig out of a hole. Unfortunately, they're in a hole, but I don't think we're going to see Vince until later in the season. If they get to 0-7, 0-8, if that happened, and the schedule suggests it might, then I think you'd see Vince. But Vince has got other issues contractually that they probably aren't even going to be thinking about extending him. They have an option clause that would cause him to have $10 million. They may be moving on without Vince, so why put him in?
All right, do you think Tennessee keeps it closer? I know you said Indianapolis wins, but does Tennessee keep it close?
I'd love to say they will, but I think the way you watch, you started with Peyton Manning. He comes out, he attacks early and often. He's going right after the secondary immediately. He won't waste any time. I don't think so. I think Tennessee's in trouble.
8:20 p.m. Eastern kick. For more on this game, stay right here with CBSSports.com. That'll do it for the NFL preview show presented by Tyson Anytizers, the meaty good man snack. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.